What do you do for PA initiative, basically?
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, my name is Chioma, like he rightly said.
Yeah, I'm Chidera.
Chioma Jesus. Okay.
All right, we are from Population Explosion Awareness Initiative. Every July 11th is a day set aside by United Nations to celebrate World Population Day. Population Explosion Awareness Initiative is a native Nigerian non-profit organization dedicated to creating awareness about the exponential rate at which our population is growing and advocating for non-coercive solutions through family planning and socio-cultural reengineering.
Okay, so you've heard it. This is what PEA initiative is all about. Basically, to help curtail the amount of the implosion we are seeing in population. And let me go straight to you, Chidera, right now. Let's talk about the role of education in population control. Okay. But before that, what are the figures? What's the figure of the population of the world right now? So we get to understand how serious this is.
Okay, from the publication of the United Nations from their World Population Prospect in 2022, the global population hit 8 billion on November 15, 2022.
8 billion.
8 billion.
November 15, 2022.
Exactly. So, and out of that 8 billion, Nigeria has 216 million from that publication. By 2050, we'll be expecting to be at the population of 375 million. And then by 2100, Nigeria's population would have shot to 545 million. So, and you can already see how the country is with all the drama happening in the country. Sometimes we don't get to think about where all these problems are coming from, the pressure on the socioeconomic facilities, even the insurgency happening in the country. Nobody gets to think that what's actually happening. People are, fighting to own something. The world is finite, and the resources in the world is finite. And when we have infinite growth of population in the world, what will happen is that it's like having a room that's supposed to contain 2 people, and then having 50 people coming to stay inside that room that's supposed to contain 2 people. There's going to be trouble, obviously. So Nigeria, as it is today, is going through a lot. But we have to also look at the demography, and we have to use demographic intelligence to also address some of the issues happening in Nigeria, because a lot of these things are coming from the pressure, the population pressure.
Okay. When you talk about demographic intelligence, what do you mean by that, basically?
Demographic intelligence is planning. Basically, it is planning, like using the projections to plan for the future. Like in the Western countries, they look at their demography. They know that, okay, this place is going to have an increase of 10 million people in the next 10 years, or 20 years, or 100 years. Then they start building infrastructure that will serve that population. You see, they build their roads in the way that it's durable. You get to use the road for 10, 15, 20 years, and it's still there because they thought about the people that are going to come, and then they build these things in order to serve even the people that are not yet born. Okay. So that's what I mean by demographic intelligence. You use the projections to tackle social issues, and hospitals, schools, and healthcare and everything. You have to use the numbers to address the social issues.
Now let's look at Nigeria, basically, because as much as it's World Population Day, we just have to, narrow it down to our country as it affects us. Now, you talked about projections for several countries that project that in so years we should see this amount of population increase. Now, does Nigeria have that prospect of, projecting what would actually happen in a couple of years? Or are we waiting for foreign bodies to actually tell us that, okay, in 2016, based on the birth rate and the mortality rate, this is what Nigerian population will be in so years? Do we as a country think about this?
Yeah, I think we think, but then the action is still not yet there. Okay. Because, for instance, some people have especially our politicians, some of them, they have turned the issue of population into politics, but it's not supposed to be so, because
so they're using population to their advantage.
Exactly.
So in other words, they always want to inflate the figure.
Exactly. Some of them, they want to inflate the numbers, but it's not going to help anyone. It's out of selfish interest. Population census is supposed to be one of the most sacred documents apart from the Constitution, because it's from that numbers that you get to have proper planning for the country. And when the numbers are not right, you're bound to make mistakes. You can't make good projections. You can't make good planning, because what you're planning with is wrong in the first place. That's why I'm appealing that the forthcoming census, the National Population Commission, it was supposed to happen before the last administration left office, but then they now transferred the responsibility to the current administration. So I'm appealing that this coming census be conducted in a way that it will be very credible and it can be used to plan for the future of Nigeria, because without proper data, you can't make good planning.
Okay, without proper data, you can't make good planning. Now, let's talk about planning for the country. We know that as much as there is implosion of population, and of course, we know that in this climate, some people have actually said that there is a manner rigging of population or inflation of our population so as to benefit certain regions. That's what some have actually said so far. But looking at it holistically, what can be done basically, especially as Nigerians, to mitigate this exponential growth in Nigeria's population? Because it is necessary we know how to tackle this. So at the end of the day, we don't have scarce resources, and just as you said, we don't get to put people in a geographical region that should carry a particular number of people, and then we see an exponential growth.
Yeah. So what can be done? Basically, that's one of the topic that we brought today, the role of education in controlling population. Education is one of the greatest means that can be used to control our population. Somebody might say, what do you mean? Education, in the sense that, the women are the channel of reproduction naturally. So, and then when the girls...
I like how you use the word naturally.
Exactly, because things are happening now. Things are turning in the world right now. So when the girls in Nigeria, we have the issue of gender inequality, and that also is a form of it goes a long way in making the population to grow. What do you mean? When the women don't have their rights, the rights to education, rights to healthcare, including reproductive health, rights to gainful employment, they will always be at the mercy of the men, and then the men will just use them as they want, and then they wouldn't have the right to stop some of the unplanned pregnancies, and then that's how the numbers keep increasing. Today we have 20 million out of school children. Globally, we have 244 million out of school children, but Nigeria has 20 million of that. And then the dropouts in school is always girls. The girls are the ones that always drop out from school because of early marriage and some of the issues about gender. And then if we are able to address these things and give the girl child the privilege of education, she will grow up to know her rights and then to be able to control her reproductive life. And data has it that in societies where the women are educated, they tend to be able to control, have low fertility rate, and then low fertility rate brings down the numbers. Our fertility rate we have like around 5.1 children per woman in her lifetime, and then we have an unmet need. Our unmet need is the number of women who want to use family planning but don't have access to it. So 19% of Nigerian women don't have access to family planning, and they want it, and that's even when you're talking about married women and then women in a union. But when you're talking about married women, single ladies, we have up to 40% of the women wanting to control pregnancy, but then they don't have access to this. And then this leads to many pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies, and then we have around 1.3 million abortions every year. And then abortion is even illegal in Nigeria. But then you can't stop people from having abortion even when it is legal, because people get pregnant and they want to take it off. And they
so
go ahead.
Should that be controlled even though they know it's illegal?
I don't think it should be controlled. I think if someone gets pregnant and is not ready to bear a child, because before you bear a child, you should think about why you really want a child.
Okay, and before you do what will give you the child, you need to think about the process.
Protection, exactly.
At the end of the day. So It doesn't seem like we're promoting abortion.
Yeah, we have to be able to be bold in talking about contraceptives.
Exactly.
Sometimes when a guy or someone wants to go and buy condom in the pharmacy, they are hiding. You want people to clear before you tell them that you want condom. That's not right. You're supposed to be bold to be able to say what you want, because that shows that you're being responsible. You're taking charge of your life.
Okay.
You don't want a child, and then you're taking charge of that to make sure that that you're not going to have it unwanted pregnancy.
Okay, so with all this being stated so far and some of the challenges you've actually shared so far, what is the responsibility of us as individuals to ensure that we control the population? Lastly, please.
Okay, our responsibility is to keep talking about family planning, and to be able to be bold to go ahead and get family planning. There are lots of in the general hospitals, family planning is free. When you go to the general hospitals where they have green dot logo, it's free. So we have different types of family planning: the condoms, the intrauterine device, the implant, the rings, contraceptive rings. There are the injection, and all these things are there, but people don't get to use them. So I encourage
people, education needs to be increased for people to know about this and the options they have, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Amazing. We need to go right now. We are out of time. We've actually spilled beyond the normal time we should be having here. But finally, before we go, do you have any word for us, Chioma, before we wrap things up this morning? Quickly.
Okay, I'll quickly say we shouldn't rule out education totally.
Okay.
Everyone needs to be informed, from our schools to our families. We have to get to the grassroots level, get to the rural areas, including the urban area, and then make everyone know the benefit of smaller families and then the bad sides of having a larger family.
Okay, amazing.
Because na small family, nine shall pass.
It's in a small family shall pass. My dear, even with the recent economy and fuel subsidy, when you think about buying Pampers for like 6 children or 7, and you think about their school fees,
your brain will reset.
Your brain will, in fact, your human organ will tell you that, bros, hold break. Anyway, thank you so much for coming, Chioma and Chidera. And of course, they are from the PEA initiative, that is the Population Explosion Awareness Initiative, talking about population and in commemoration of this day here in Nigeria. Please, then say a small family, 9 shall pass. Big family. And of course, it impacts the society and the world at large. Thank you for coming through, guys. I really appreciate you.